What's up, my future one percenters? This is the Trader Champ, Cam Jones, and this channel is sponsored by the Trader Champ app. It is where you can build a 1 day fantasy portfolio and compete against other traders around the world to see who is the best 1 day trader. You can download the app inside the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, and you can also visit the website traderchamp.cash and sign up there and play there. I just want to let everyone know I am not a professional trader, and everything on this channel is strictly my opinion. I'm not telling you to do what I do, I'm just telling you what I do, or what I'm doing. So, with that being said, let's talk about what we're going to get into today. We're just going to talk about the basics today, just starting up your own brokerage account, how to fund it, how to buy your first stock, and then we're also going to talk about like how to set up your chart, or at least how I set up my chart with moving averages and things like that. We won't get into anything too complicated like support and resistance, and I'm not really going to go in depth about like how I'm using the moving averages. I'll do a little bit of explaining things like that. We're going to keep it real basic. So basically, to start a brokerage account, you just go to something like Charles Schwab, which is my favorite. They have the Thinkorswim platform for the old school cats out there. That was TD Ameritrade. Charles Schwab bought TD Ameritrade. Uh, they own the Thinkorswim platform now, so you have to get Charles Schwab if you want to use Thinkorswim. You can also use something like Fidelity, Webull. The most popular one probably that you know of is Robinhood. So those are, and there's more brokerage accounts. It's just, you have to pick one that you like. I like Charles Schwab, but a lot of people probably will go with Robinhood. Another one that you can do if you are kind of like just a passive investor, just want to buy something here or there and just hold it for a long time, you can buy stocks inside of Cash App also. You can buy crypto in Cash App too. So you can manage your stock portfolio as well as your crypto portfolio in the same spot. It's not advanced, but for just someone that wants to buy something and hold it for a while, I think it's good. It's a reputable company. I think everyone uses um, Cash App. So after you sign up for a brokerage account, and I just want to say also, signing up for a brokerage account is very easy. A lot of people think that it is this complicated process, but honestly, if you signed up for a Twitter X account, Facebook account, Instagram, TikTok, then you can sign up for a brokerage account. They ask you all the same questions except for they'll ask you for your bank account information. And they only ask you that so you can fund the account so you can buy stocks. That's the only question that they ask different, really, for the most part. Other than when you're signing up for a social media account, name, address, things like that, basic stuff that they're going to ask you for a brokerage account. The only thing that will, I mean, it shouldn't throw you off, but it might, is they'll ask you for your bank account information, and you just get your router info, your bank account info, put it in, and you can fund it. You don't have to fund it right when you open the brokerage account. You can come back to it and fund it at a later date. It's just that you won't be able to buy any stocks or anything like that until you put money in the account. Um, so after you put money in or after you get the brokerage account, obviously you fund it. We just talked about that, how to do it, adding your bank account information and then buying a stock. And then after that, you're all set. You have everything you need in order to buy a stock. So now that we got that out the way, let me show you what Thinkorswim looks like. That's what I use. I'll show you how to set up your chart like me, um, so you can start to get a feel for, I don't want to say advanced trading, but doing a little more in-depth research on these stocks. So I'll switch over to my Thinkorswim platform. So right here, this is Thinkorswim. And what you'll probably see when you first open it is you will probably see lines instead of candles. So these little bars right here, these are called candles. That's my favorite way to look at a stock chart, is for candles. So what you might see is this when you first open it up. Oh, not there. I'm sorry. We go to settings up here and appearance. So when you first open it up, you may see something like line. So you can see here, I hit apply and it just turns into like a straight line. I don't like that. It's just not the way I like to look at charts. And the best way for you to do it is to put it on candle and hit apply. And then now it turns into those bars. So let me go through how I got here again. You go up here to the settings icon, go to appearance, and then you just want to change the chart type to candle. And then you want to hit apply and then OK. So now that we have this set up, and then I'm looking at a 1 year day chart. So what that means is this chart right here is for 1 full year. So there's 365 candles on here. So each candle represents one day. Well, it's not 365 candles because the stock market isn't open on like when on the weekends, but you get it. It's a year's worth of candles. This each candle represents one trading day. So and you can do other things like set it to 1 year, 1 week. That would mean each candle would be the equivalent of 1 week. You can set it to 1 year, 1 month. Each candle would be the equivalent of 1 month. You can even set it to like 20-year monthly. That would, on your chart, you would see 20 years worth of, you'll see 20 years worth of candles on there. Each candle would represent 1 month. So I'll show you how I like to set up my ways to figure out like buying and selling points. So if you right click on this chart and go down to studies, click on edit studies. And we want to search up here in the search bar for simple moving average. So if you just type in the word simple, you'll see it show up right here, simple moving average. And what I want to do, I want to add that in 3 times because there's 3 moving averages that I like. The 200-day, the 20-day moving average, and the 50-day moving average. So right now they default to 9 for some reason. So that's this number here, 9. So let's go to the settings icon, that gear right here. And we're going to keep everything the same right here except for length. So we're going to do the 200-day first. So we want to change the length to 200. And I like to set my 200-day color to green. It's no reason why I do that. It's just every chart I do, I always set it to the 200-day to green. So we could change the color there. Hit OK. And then we'll go to the next one. We'll change this one to the 50-day moving average. So we'll change the number 9 to 50. And that 9 may be different on yours. You just want to change the length to the number that you want it to be. This one we want it to be 50. And I always make my 50-day moving average blue. Again, no reason. It's just that's how I always set it up. Next and last, we want to change to my favorite, which is the 20-day moving average. So we want to change the length number to 20. And I always have my 20-day moving average set to red. We hit apply and you see those lines pop up here. So let's just hit OK. And now we have our moving averages up on our screen right here. And the reason why the 20-day moving average is my favorite is because I feel like it gives me the best view of when to sell something if I bought it. So if you notice here, this is the QQQ. Let's go to something a little more popular, which is NVIDIA, right? So if you notice, okay, this red line is my 20-day moving average. Anything that goes too far above the 20-day moving average, it always comes back down to kind of like meet that 20-day again. So you can see here, got up way too high above the 20-day moving average, came down. Right here, got a little bit too high, came back down. In this little cluster here, got too high, came back down to the 20-day. You can see it again right here. It doesn't happen every single time right here, but for the most part, that's what I'm looking for when I want to get out of a trade, or I'm like, or I might want to buy something. I'm like, oh, that's too expensive. It's too high right now. I can get it at a better price. The 50-day moving average is something that I use also, but I mainly use the 20-day. The 50-day, it may come back down to it and kind of play around the area. But if it goes below it, it's probably going to go more towards the 20-day move or the 200-day moving average. And that is something where if a company like NVIDIA, a really reputable company, somebody that has been around, has a good balance sheet, just an overall good company, if they get below the 200-day moving average or even like really close to it, you probably want to pick that up. It's probably going to be a deal. So without getting into too much, that's how I kind of do things with my chart. Also, if you want to buy stock, let's just say you want to buy NVIDIA, you just click on the price, one of these numbers up here, click on buy, and then you can start to put in how much the quantity that you want. If you want 20, I have mine set to default to 25 shares of anything. The price you want to get it at, I always want to buy on a limit order. I do not want to buy on a market order, and we'll get into that. That's a more advanced, but we'll get into that later. And also, I want to talk about like how to figure out what stocks to buy. And really, you should start by just looking around the house and what's some of the companies that you like, that you use a lot. A lot of people use Apple products, so you might want to buy Apple. You would put the ticker symbol up here, AAPL. That's Apple, and then you get the Apple stock chart. You may want to buy Google. You may like Google products. A lot of people do a lot of shopping on Amazon. You may want to grab some Amazon, AMZN. If you have kids, I know I have a little nephew. He likes to play Roblox, so I buy him Robux. So if you have kids, they want to play Roblox all the time. You may want to buy some Roblox, RBLX, I think is Roblox. Yeah, you may want to buy Roblox. So that's a good starting point until you start to get a feel for how to research these stocks and figure out what's a good price, because this price right here, Roblox 63.74. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad price, but some people, they'll look at a stock and say, hey, I got this stock for $3, man. I got it for a deal. But I can show you some stocks that is $3 that is not a deal. That is very expensive. And we'll get into trying to figure out what is a good deal and what is not. What's too expensive and what's not too expensive, because there's some stocks out there that are like $1,000 a share that's not expensive on a market cap basis. That's basically what we'll be talking about, is market cap. So we don't want to get too advanced in this video right now. I just wanted to give you guys some of the basics. So next time we'll go over some support and resistance and how to figure out, what's a good deal, market cap, things like that. So until then, I'll see you guys later. Peace.